Um, Very good afternoon to all you students. How are you? Hello, Tamenglong. And we have St. Paul's. St. Paul's, please report the attendance at your center. Hello, Government Mizo School. How are you? So, we will start from where we left off last time. And today we are going to continue along with a few other things. Okay. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, I got a haircut. Winters are over, so I maybe need a haircut. Normally, I get even shorter hair. I prefer the military style haircut. It was just because of the winters that I had long hair. Okay. So, thank you. Anyway, please report your attendance, students, and we will move on. Coming along, how many students are present today? You miss me. Oh, I missed you too. Yeah, I had to go somewhere. So that's why. Anyway, so come on. Okay. Tamenglong, only one student is present. That's a bit surprising. Anyway. No, I'm not so tired, okay? I just had a quick jog. Don't worry about that. I'm not so tired, okay? All right. So please come on, students. St. Paul's, Shillong, Government Mizo School, Tamenglong students, and other people. So it will be nice if I have your attendance. Please, students, report your attendance, okay? So we'll move on further. Okay? All right. So students, what do you remember from the last class that we had? Hello, Lunglai. Okay. So many students are online now. So we will begin on. It will take momentum from here. So, students, do you remember what we, yeah. So we were discussing the types of flowers, okay? All right. You look very different in Facebook. All right, yeah. So which account of mine are you following? I haven't checked my Facebook I think about a month or so. I'm not sure which. Okay. All right. So, types of flowers we were discussing. Okay. So we'll continue. Okay. All right. There's a bit of problem with this. Yeah. So flowers we were discussing. Okay. So yeah. Mizo School, I actually am on Facebook, and the photo that you are seeing me of the pic I have posted there. Let's just say it's my pic before my breakup. Okay, I had a very terrible, a painful breakup with my girlfriend. So she and me, we broke up. And we had let's say, a very fruitful relationship. I was looking forward to marry her and all that. But she had other plans, and she was the one who initially proposed me, and we had a breakup. It was a terrible thing. It changed me. I began overeating. I suffered from depression, anxiety, and also tried to travel to a lot of parts of India There were so many things I did, which can be counted under personality development. But what I did ignore was my personal, let's say, physical outlook. Okay, so my physical outlook has changed quite a bit since my breakup. Let's just say I'm trying to come back to my former self, and I hopefully will gain that. So that's about me. Okay, so hanger in a banana tree. Okay, no, I don't hang her somewhere. I still love her, but let's just say she has other people on her mind, so she doesn't want to talk to me right now. She was the one who came after me, was the one who proposed me, but things happen, okay? People change quite a lot. We cannot change that. So I'm not the one who, maybe I don't believe in that too. Same here. Now I don't believe anymore. Okay. So hello Senapati, how are you? So a lot of students are here today. All right. So come on students, let's come back to our topics. All right. So up till now, what we have studied so far, okay, we have studied the morphological characters, the morphological organs of plants. Okay. The morphological organs of plants, the main organs of plants are roots, stem, leaves, and flowers. Up till before the flower part, you have studied already. Okay, I believe so. And flower, I have helped you study that. Okay, so a flower is a modified shoot. A flower is a modified shoot containing very dense, very shortened internodes. Okay, so very shortened internodes means that a lot of nodes are present in a flower, but there are very less internodes, or they are nearly absent. They do not appear in the long form. Okay, in a stem, like suppose in a bamboo stem, suppose this is a bamboo stem. Suppose this is a node, this is another node, then there is another node. Between these two nodes, there is some part of the stem called internode. Now, internodes are shortened in the case of flowers. All right. So this means modified leaves will be present in the flower. Yes. So what are these modified leaves called? These modified leaves are called calyx, sepals, the petals, the corolla, and then we have the androecium, and then we have the gynoecium. Each stamen that you see, it is also a modified leaf, and the unit of gynoecium, that is called the carpel. Carpel is also a modified leaf. Okay, dear students. Now, I'll make you understand a few more things from out here. Flower chapter is, I understand. I know that we are going quite a bit slow. Now we are going to pick up a bit speed. I needed to show you a lot of things. I needed to make you understand my viewpoint. Now we will not be going so slow. We will slowly pick up the pace. Do not worry. We will pick up the pace now. Okay. As all my, you do not understand how much I am concerned for you, because there is a lot of pressure on me too. But the thing is, what I try to do is, I want you people to understand the things also. So now I am going to pick up a pace. My last class was just I needed to talk to you. I needed to motivate you. Still, a lot of students are not communicating to me. I asked all of you to write me a simple message, a personal message, that their name, their pronunciation, and why they chose biology as a subject, and what do they hope to become in life. So very few students responded. The rest of you, please try to open a channel between you and me. You cannot post your personal hopes and aspirations. If you think it is a public opinion, everybody knows it, you can post it in the group. Otherwise, send me a personal message. I want to read it. I want to know you. I want you to, what my thing is, I teach you guys through the camera, okay? I do not know you like a personal student. My attempt is to give you some personal attention, okay? So as a friend, do not take me as a teacher, take me as a friend. I want you to give this attention to me also, and so that I can do better for you. So what I want you is, just drop me a message. I will be opening a channel between you and me. I will save your name, and we'll talk from time to time. I will be able to give you some personal attention other than what I'm teaching in the class, okay? So I ask you students to, not sure about your WhatsApp number. I'll write it again. It's already in the group, okay? 6260701990. It's already in the group, okay? What I want from you is your name and your pronunciation, how you pronounce your name, okay? I want to pronounce your name correctly. That is very important for me, okay? You can also email me. I'll give you my email address also. And why you chose biology? Why you chose biology? Okay. Was it your own decision, or somebody forced you? Your parents want you to become something? Okay. So we can discuss all these things. I'll tell you more about your career planning. I'll tell you how you should plan for your career. Okay. And your hopes and aspirations. Okay. What you want to do with your life. Okay. Other than being a student, just a student in the intermediate, what do you want to become after that? Okay. So hopes and dreams and aspirations, they will come in. These three things I need from you. Okay. So this is my number. My email ID is vineet.pawar. There is also my Avanti email ID. You can use that also. But I think one email should be sufficient. Okay. Or you can use vineet.pawar@avanti.in. Okay. Whatever suits you, whatever is comfortable to you, use it. Okay. .avanti.in. Sorry. It's avanti.in. Okay. Gmail is more easier to understand. Okay. So all these things I wanted from you. Now please try to concentrate here. Okay. Now today I'm going to teach you some very important things here. Focus on this. I told you that flower is a modified shoot. So if a flower is a modified shoot, then androecium and gynoecium, both of them should be modified shoots, right? After the studying of morphology, we will study in detail about anatomy, and after anatomy, plant physiology and the human physiology. So I'm going to teach some very important things to you now today. Now try to understand. We have already studied the types of flowers. This topic is over now. What I need from you now is to understand about placentation. Okay. Today I am going to teach you about placentation, and please pay attention. This is a conceptual thing, not a thing to be remembered, as you know already. Okay. So I hope you have written all this. I hope you have written all this. Okay. So after that I'll be moving on. All right. So placentation, what do you understand by placentation? Do you have any idea how you should maybe understand about placentation? Do you understand what an ovule is? Yes, students? Please pay attention. I am telling you about this. An ovule is a part of the plant of the flower that is going to transform itself into seeds. Have you seen a small lady finger? A small lady finger, it is having very soft seeds, okay? And as this lady finger tries to grow taller, it grows in length, it grows in width, then the seeds try to mature up, okay? The fruit volume grows in size, the seeds also become larger. Similar is the case with pea, similar is the case with other plants, right? So an ovule is going to modify itself into seed after fertilization, okay? But what about the covering of the seed? Outside the seeds, as we see, there is some sort of covering, okay? You know what this covering, right? This covering is called the fruit wall, and the ripened ovary wall is the fruit, okay? Let it be apple, let it be pear, let it be chiku, acris, sapota, let it be lady's finger, let it be tomatoes, okay? All these are ripened ovaries. Do you understand this? All these are ripened ovaries, okay? So a flower which is very small in size, it later on loses the calyx, loses the corolla, and loses the androecium. Only some part of gynoecium is going to remain, okay? We have eliminated all the unnecessary portions, and after that only the ovule and the covering of the ovary, that is called the ovary wall, will remain. All right, do you understand this? So we are going to write some things here, okay? All right, so I'm going to rub all this. I need you to write some things, some terms here, okay? Yeah, so what is a seed? It is a fertilized ovule. What is the definition of seed? It is a fertilized ovule, or if you want to write it in one word answer in a form of a sentence, you can write it. And a fertilized ovule matures into a seed, okay? It is an ovule after fertilization, okay? This is the long definition, like our teachers want us to write long definitions. If they think we have not filled up 2 sheets, 3 sheets, maybe they will not give us enough marks, right? Every student thinks this, and even I thought so. Maybe you think the same, okay? So if a student in the examination hall, he is filling up 5 copies, we can be sure that he is going to top the exam, right? So that happens quite a lot. And who will tell me the definition of fruit now? What is a fruit? Yes, students? I'll wait for your chat, okay? So do you know the technical definition of fruit? Technical definition of fruit, do you know? The technical definition of fruit, do you know, students? What is the technical definition of fruit? Please, yeah, okay. Matured ovary, but it's quite correct. It's not entirely accurate, but you are very close, okay? So I'll discuss this with you. You can write that a fruit is a ripened ovary wall. A fruit is a ripened ovary wall, okay? A fruit is a ripened, look, the whole ovary cannot be fertilized, okay? There is a difference between ripened ovary and a fertilized ovule. That is why I have written the fertilized ovule and not a fertilized ovary. Can you imagine this? In human reproduction, what is the part in the female that undergoes fertilization? Is it the whole ovary? You understand what it will be? If a whole ovary is fertilized, it will mean that the female will bear at least 6,000 or 7,000 babies at the same time, okay? Do you understand this? 6,000 eggs in each ovary, and if everyone is going to be fertilized, you can understand there will be a huge population explosion, right? So, ovary cannot be fertilized. Ovule can be fertilized, okay? Yeah. Do you have a doubt, government meso school? You have written no. You have written no. Can I understand why have you written this? Can you write why have you written no? Was it not clear to you? Was it not clear to you? Okay, okay, all right. So, let me give you an example. Okay, I'll help you understand all this by help of an example. So, let us take this. Okay, so in gymnosperms, try to understand this, the evolution of plants. In algae, there are no seeds. In bryophyta, there are no seeds. In pteridophyta also, there are no seeds. We call these plants hidden fertilization or hidden embryo plants. Okay, so we call them as cryptogams, and gymnosperm and angiosperms we call them as let's say actually we call them phanerogams. Okay, cryptogams means hidden marriage. Okay, suppose there is a young couple and they go to the court and declare themselves married. Okay, so that is a court marriage. Nobody knows that they are getting married. Okay, and other is an arranged marriage that everyone, their neighbors, the friends of the neighbors, everybody comes to know that these people are getting married. Okay, so that is an arranged marriage that happens in gymnosperms and angiosperms. All right, so these are two types of marriages. Okay, a love marriage or an arranged marriage, and other is a very hideous kind of marriage. Nobody comes to know of it, a court marriage or something like that. So cryptogams and phanerogams, there are two groups. Okay, so I told you that a gynoecium is also a modified leaf. Okay, so in gymnosperms we call them as naked ovule structure. Okay, we call them as naked ovule structure. Why we call them as naked ovule structure? Suppose this is an ovule. Okay, I hope this is a large enough example. Okay, this is an ovule and this is a leaf. Okay, this is a leaf and this is an ovule. Now this ovule is going to be here. Okay, the ovule is going to sit on the top of that leaf. This is called naked ovary. Naked ovary means this ovule is there, but the ovary is not covering it. Ovary is not covering it. It is sitting on top of it. Okay, the ovary is not covering it. It is sitting on top of it. Okay, so what is happening? This is called a naked ovary, naked ovule structure. So what will happen in gymnosperms? You can see that there is no ovary wall. Okay, the ovule is enclosed by a structure, protective covering, that is called ovary wall. And here ovary wall is not present. Okay, here ovary wall is not present. So we call them as naked ovule. And what happens in angiosperms? In angiosperms, this ovary tries to protect the ovule inside it. Okay, you can see the ovule, it is here. All right, the ovary is trying to enclose it. It is trying to cover it. Okay, so this goes inside, it undergoes folding, and this is called ovary wall. This structure is called ovary wall. So the ovary wall is going to protect the ovule inside of this, and this is called the this is called an organized ovary. Okay, so if ovary wall is present, fruit formation will also be present. Why fruit formation happens? Because there is a seed inside, and the plant, it has the motive, it has a motive that my seeds should spread in all directions. Okay, so you are suppose you are you must some people of you must be a single child of your parents, some people must be having siblings. Okay, so what do your parents want from you? That one of my daughter or son, they should study in AIMS. One of my son or daughter should go abroad. One of my daughter or son should join the military. Okay, and one or two might they should stay with me, or they should go somewhere else which is nearby to my home. Okay, so you are the seeds of your parents, and your parents want you to spread far and wide. Okay, at some time they want you to come back. Okay, but normally what they want from you, that go away, go somewhere else. Okay, do not pester me, I'm sick of you, and maybe I'm sick of listening to you. They always love you, of course, but they want you to go. Okay, so I'm joking, of course. Even my mother, every parent treats their sons and daughters in the same way. They want them to go to far off places, and suddenly when it is the time of festival or Christmas or Holi or Diwali, they want them to come back. Okay, so it's a huge problem of transportation and everything, but this happens. Okay, so this is a ovary wall. This will mature. It will start to thicken up. Okay, it will undergo maturation. How it will go under maturation? It will take the photosynthetic fixed products, the sugars, etc., and it will increase in volume. Okay, maybe it stores starch, maybe it stores sugars, but all these will increase the volume of the ovary wall, and that will increase the size of the fruit. So if it is a large fruit, suppose it's a watermelon. Okay, so you will eat the watermelon and spread the seeds in every direction that is possible, right? So this happens. Okay, so try to understand this. This is suppose one leaf. This is suppose one leaf. Have you studied the different types of placentation? Okay, yeah. St. Paul's, you have asked me the ovule inside or outside the ovary in gymnosperm. It is neither inside nor outside. It is lying on top of it. It is attached to it. Let us say it is outside. Okay, you can say it's outside. It is not inside. Not inside, definitely. Okay, and the ovary is not covering it. The ovary is not giving space for it. Okay, it is not covering it. It is lying like this. In angiosperms, it will be covered. In angiosperms, this ovule, it will be covered. But in gymnosperms, it will not be covered. It will lay like this. Okay. So you have seen the pine cones, right? You have seen the pine trees. Okay. So where do you find the seed in the pine cone? You have seen the pine cones, right? There are a lot of pine trees around you. Have you seen them? You can see that seed is simply lying on top or below of that woody leaf. You have seen that, students? Yes or no? If you cannot climb the pine trees, you can take the help of monkeys. They will pluck them for you. Okay. So you can do that also. Anyway, I'm telling you, the ovule, it is not enclosed by the ovary in case of gymnosperms. Now we must come to the very important thing, placentation. What is placentation? It is the arrangement of ovules inside the ovary. The placenta, the placentation, the ovules, they form a certain form of arrangement, and we have to remember this arrangement. I will tell you technique. I will show you how you can understand these easily. This is for understanding. Do not write this. Right now what I am writing on the paper, please only write that only, and I will draw some diagrams also. Alright. So first you should write the definition of placentation. So what is placentation? You never notice the seed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I understand. You have not noticed the seed because it is usually eaten by the monkeys or it undergoes wind dispersal. Because the seed of pinus is winged, it is very paper-like. If I go to the hills sometime soon, I will bring you something. I will try to bring you something, or I will show you the video. Okay. So the pinus seed actually it blows away. You can only notice it when it is quite young and on top of the tree. So in some cases the seed might remain sticking up. Otherwise, normally it is blown away, or the monkeys usually eat it. That's why it is on the ground. Okay. So what you see on the ground, that is not the seed. The seeds have all gone. Okay. I'll show you something. Okay. In the next class maybe. All right. So placentation, what is placentation? It is the arrangement of ovules. It is a pattern. What is the arrangement of ovules? Just a second. It is the arrangement of ovules inside the ovary. Okay. So it is the arrangement of ovules inside the ovary. We do not have monkeys in Mizoram. All right. Well, let's look. I told you there are two things. I have seen the monkeys eating the seeds. In the hills where I go, in Nainital and in Uttarakhand, in the Himalayas, when I go for trekking, I have seen the monkeys eating the seeds. Okay. So I have seen them eating. Or otherwise, I have seen actually I visited it during a time when there was a strong wind, and in the wind I saw the seeds blowing away from the trees. I picked a few seeds, but they are very papery. They are very thin. They are easily blown away by the wind. So it's hard to catch them. But I will tell you, it is because of wind dispersal. Most of the seeds they usually blow away. Okay. If they are on the tree, normally the monkeys will eat it. If actually it takes about 2 years for each cone of pine to be formed. 2 years. During that time, the seed can blow away any time. Okay. So what the monkeys do, they pick up the unopened seeds, they press it, and then they eat the seeds, and then they throw away the cone on the ground. Or the cone, it will drop to the ground when the seeds have all blown away. All right. St. Paul's, Swagata. OK or PK? I'm not sure. Priyanka Kumari. Swagata, Priyanka Kumari. Okay, so this must be your is it your attendance, St. Paul's? How many ovules can be present in one ovary? Look, the ovules can be many. Okay. The unit of ovary is carpel, and each carpel can contain many ovules. Okay. In some families, each carpel will contain only one ovule. Okay. Do you know the example of any such family where each flower or each ovule will contain one seed only? Do you know any such example? Sunflower family, Asteraceae, sunflower family, sunflower, cosmos, marigold. These are all examples of family called Asteraceae or sunflower family. These will have one seed or one ovule per flower only. Okay. The sunflower contains many seed, many small flowers. Okay. But in diagram, it is usually represented that one ovary contains one ovule. No, that is the cross section. I will show you. It is just coming now. Okay. So let me do this, and then you will be able to understand it better. And government Mizo school, you have asked, does every ovule get fertilized? Okay. But in diagram, you have, I'm coming to it. Look, my part is explaining to you what happens. Okay. look students, you have seen the peas, okay? You have seen the peas. If a pea is taken, okay? If a pea is taken, you open the pea, some seeds are of very large size and some seeds are very small, right? So the very small point-like seeds, they are unfertilized ovules. The large seeds, they are the fertilized ovule which have formed the seeds. Lunglai students, maybe you have seen the wrong diagram. Let me draw the diagrams, okay? Okay, so there are many types of placentation. Let me draw this, okay? So the first type of placentation is marginal placentation. And where have you seen this marginal placentation? The marginal placentation is seen in the case of pea, right? The marginal placentation, it is seen in the case of pea. Okay? So in pea, what do we find? Okay, first seed, second seed, suppose, third seed, fourth seed, fifth, maybe sixth. Now this is a very large pea, okay? Maybe if you draw this diagram, your mother will ask you to bring these kinds of large seeded and multiple seeded peas from the market only, right? Okay, so if you have done shopping for your mothers, you will know what I'm talking about. All right, so these are the seeds, okay? All right. Now, Lunglai students, maybe you are getting confused. This is a whole pea. This is a whole pea. Okay. Now, if I cut a section through this, if I cut a cross section through this part, okay. If I cut a cross section through this part, how will it look like? It will look like this. It will look like this, what I am drawing right now. Pay attention. It will look like this, right? So this is what is happening here. Okay. So this is the cross section, okay, and this is the whole fruit. Thus, look, try to understand this. If you see the cross section and if that cross section is passing through one seed, you will see only one seed. But we are talking about not a single seed. We are talking about the whole fruit, the whole ovules of the seed, the plant. Okay. So we are talking about the whole collective ovules of the plants. We are not talking about a single seed here. This is called marginal placentation. Marginal placentation, it is of this type. Okay, this is the marginal placentation. Now let us see how marginal placentation is formed. Suppose this is a leaf and there are some ovules growing on. Now tell me, this is a leaf, so you know that a leaf has many margins, okay? So a margin is the perfect place for the ovules to develop. Suppose there is many ovules, not a single ovule. So what is the best place to form so many ovules? It will be along the margins, because margin has many veins, ending of veins. So we will accumulate the food products here and we will give them to the developing seeds. So along the margins, actually I cannot color this one, okay? So we'll just have to suppose this. Along the margins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Many seeds are present here, and after this, this leaf undergoes folding. This leaf undergoes folding. Now after folding, what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alternate rows of seeds are present. Now you go to the kitchen. okay, and ask your mother for some peas and try to open this pea. If you open this pea, you will see on one side of the pea pod, you will see some ovules, other half on this. So they fit together, okay, they are alternate to each other and they fit together, okay. They form a compact box-like arrangement. Now if I am going to cut a cross section through this, how will it appear? It will appear like this. TS of ovary having marginal placentation. Now when you go to the home, go to your homes, please write the definitions, the one word or two, one sentence, two sentence definition from the NCERT in your notes. I cannot do this for you because my course is too much, you understand this. My work is to make you understand. Have you been able to understand this? Have you been able to understand this? Marginal placentation, how does it happen? You do not need to write this as I am telling you. I am just trying to make you understand. How does marginal placentation happen? Suppose this is a leaf. In the middle of the leaf, there will be the midrib, and there are two margins. Along each margin, some ovules are going to develop, and after that, this leaf is going to provide protection to the ovules. How will it provide protection? It will undergo closing. Okay, it will undergo closing. It will cover these ovules. Now, if you observe them from this side, from this angle, you will understand, you can see that at least one seed can be visible. Okay, one seed can be visible. Now, cut a cross section through this. How will it look like? Like this diagram that I am showing you. Okay, so this is marginal placentation. All right. So this is marginal placentation. Okay. Now, next type of placentation is, thank you students for paying so much attention. Yeah. Lunglai students, I hope you understand this also. Now, the other type of placentation is parietal placentation. Marginal placentation, what will you write in the copy? You will write that in marginal placentation, ovules develop along the margin. Okay, that is why it is called marginal placentation. Now, apart from the margin of the ovary, this was, try to understand this, this was a single leaf. Single leaf means monocarpillary. Single leaf has been modified. Later, when we will study families, what we will write? We will write them monocarpillary. Or if it is undergoing some sort of splitting, we can say bicarpillary. But usually it is a single leaf only. It has undergone fusion. So what is this ovary? It has developed from a single leaf. Single leaf means single carpel. Okay, monocarpillary ovary. Now try to understand parietal placentation. Parietal placentation means this form of arrangement that I am going to show you in this diagram. Parietal placentation. Okay. So, where have you seen this? Where have you seen this, students? Do you remember this? Have you seen this anywhere? I am asking you this question because you are not just able to remember it, okay? So, can you put a bit of more effort, or should I explain it to you? You just go to your home and take a cucumber and slice the cucumber cross section. Cut the cross sections of the cucumber. Have you seen this there? Okay. This is a cucumber's cross section. How did this happen? Now in monocarpillary ovary, only a single leaf was participating in formation of ovules. Now suppose there are 3 leaves. Now I have only two hands. If there was a third hand, I would be so happy, right? This is first leaf, this is second leaf. Now suppose this is a marginal placentation type of ovary. This is a marginal placentation type of ovary. This has undergone folding. This is a marginal placentation type of ovary. This has undergone folding, okay, like this only, like P. This is another leaf. This has also undergone folding. Now suppose this leaf, along this, they are going to undergo fusion like this, okay. These are two leaves. You must imagine there is a third leaf like this. First leaf, second leaf, okay, they are coming together, and the third leaf is coming from the downside. Three leaves, tricarpellary condition, okay, tricarpellary condition. And if you see this closely, where are the seeds or the ovules going to appear? Along the circumference, okay. 1, 2, 3, 3 leaves. Now cut a cross section. If you cut a cross section through this, where will we find the seeds? On the border, on the inside of the border. This is what happens in the case of cucumber, okay. So cut a cucumber today now, and you will find this, alright. So this is in the case of parietal placentation along the circumference. Just open NCERT, and I am not writing the full definitions. You must complete this. This is your homework, okay. Now I must discuss the third type of placentation, that is the axile placentation, okay. Axile placentation. Axile placentation. Your seeds look like leaf, okay. Actually, I must, I understand your problem. These are not leaves. I just wanted to make you understand it, okay. I drew it in this way because I was not entirely sure how these would turn out. Alright, I suppose this is better. Actually, green color is not very much visible to me, but I just wanted to make a point there. Alright, I suppose this diagram is better. I suppose this diagram is better. If you do not want to draw this diagram, there is another option. I will show you another way. You can draw it in this manner. You can draw it in this manner. I am going to show you. Draw it in this manner. This is also okay. Okay, this is a seed. All right. Parietal placentation. Then let's move on to axile placentation. Okay. So about axile placentation. Yeah. So axile placentation, what happens in axile placentation? Try to see this. Suppose we are picking up 3 leaves again. Suppose we are picking up 3 leaves. Okay. Now I am going to show you this. All right. Now these 3 leaves are fusing in such a manner that this time the pattern of fusion is different. This time the pattern of fusion is different. Suppose these are 3 leaves. Now suppose there are, oh shit, why is this happening? Excuse my occurrence. Please excuse my utterance of words. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 or 8. seeds are in the center. I'm not able to draw a perfect circle. You can do this by yourself. Maybe by a smaller diagram you can understand this. Okay. I'm just drawing a smaller diagram because it's easier for me to draw. Okay. So everybody has seen a lemon. Just take a lemon and cut it in the middle. In the lemon you can see something. Now let me show you this. First leaf, second leaf. In the case of cucumber, they were deciding to fuse along this side. Now suppose these leaves have decided that now let's not take 3 leaves, let's take 6 leaves or 8 leaves. And all these leaves, they have decided to come together in this manner. In this fashion, they are going to come. First leaf, second leaf, third leaf, fourth leaf, fifth leaf, sixth leaf. Okay. So you can imagine, it will require some 3D imagination, and maybe if I had 10 hands like Ravana, maybe if I had 10 hands or 20 hands, this would be sufficient. I would show you second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Alright. So just use your imagination here. These leaves are fusing in such a manner. First leaf, second leaf, third leaf, fourth leaf, fifth leaf, and sixth leaf. So complete circle is forming, right? A circle is forming. And where are the seeds? The seeds are on the inside, on the margins. So if the seeds are on the inside and they are forming a complete circle, you have cut a section through the lemons. And how does a section of a lemon look like? The seeds are all in the center. You have cut a section through tomato. Where are the seeds? They are along the central axis. There are chambers. You can see them. Okay. The seeds are in those chambers. So this type of placentation is called axile, because on the central axis, we can see so many seeds around here. Alright. This is not watermelon. In watermelon, the seeds are scattered all throughout the watermelon. Watermelon is not this, okay? Seeds are scattered throughout the, that is a different theory, okay? I cannot, watermelon develops from a different type of ovary. Alright? So this is about axile placentation, okay? Now, do you know other types of placentation as well? Please draw this diagram. Okay, axile placentation you have drawn. Now there is a modification of axile placentation I want you to understand. It is called the free central placentation. Now suppose in lemon, you can see the chambers are separated by a septa, a membrane, okay, like the membrane that you are seeing here. Suppose this membrane in lemon or oranges, it disappears. Okay. Suppose the membrane that disappears. What will happen? If I see the cross section, then inside the circle there will be no septa. This is a septa. This is a septa. Okay. This is a septa. Just a second. I'll draw this. Now this is a septa. Now this is a septa, and if I dissolve the septa, there is a new type of placentation called the free central placentation. There is a new type of placentation called the free central placentation. The difference between axile and free central placentation is that in free central placentation, you can imagine the seeds are hanging on a central axis. Suppose mulberry, the seeds are hanging on a central axis. There is no chambers between the seeds. So the original ovary, it was multicarpillary. Many carpels were present, But after what happened? In the end, the chambers, the septa, the wall between two ovules, between two carpels, it dissolved, and so all the ovules will start to appear like in a central axis. They are appearing like a hanging on a central axis. You, as all students, yeah. Biology is the science of exceptions. You will find exception everywhere. In each family which shows axile placentation or marginal placentation, you will always find some exceptions, okay? So, about your doubt, I hope it is clear now. So, what happens in free central placentation? Free central placentation is like axile placentation, but what will happen here? In the center, near the central axis, we will see there are seeds, but there are no septa. Okay, so this is the case of TS of ovary having. What are these diagrams that I am drawing? These are diagrams of transverse section of ovary. TS of ovary having free central placentation. Free central placentation. Government meso school, you are asking me, do biology also have exception? If you want to study biology, government meso school, you have to study these exceptions. Exceptions are so much in biology, there are not so much exceptions in chemistry and physics. Is my voice not reaching to you, government meso school? You're asking the same question again and again. Yeah. There are so many exceptions in biology. I always talk about it. This is the transverse section of ovary having axile placentation. Similarly, for the above two examples, okay? Having axile placentation. All right? Okay. So I suppose it is clear now. All right? Okay. These are the four main types of placentation. Another placentation type is called basal, fifth and sixth. Now that I have to cover them, I hope you have drawn this, okay? You can write the definitions from your NCERT. Now let me cover the superficial and the basal types of placentation. The basal type of placentation. Okay. Basal placentation. Now I was telling you that suppose this is a leaf and it has many ovules along the margins. Okay. Now some plants, they became, let's just say that they became more intelligent. Okay. So like in 1950s in India, each couple used to think, let us have so much babies. Okay. Let us have 4 babies or 5 or 6 or maybe more. Okay. So at that time they were having this thinking, but at present we do not have this thinking. Okay. So at present we think that let us have only 1 or 2 or let's not have any. Okay. This is the present thinking. So let us say some plants were maybe intelligent or more different than others, and they decided that instead of having so many ovules, why not have a single ovule per ovary? Okay. So some plants decided, let's have a single ovary per ovule. So instead of having so many ovules per ovary, some plants had this decision that let us eliminate all ovules except one. So what is going to happen? If a single ovule is present in an ovary, all the resources, all the good things of that ovule that of that flower, they will go towards a single ovule. What will this mean? This ovule will have better chances of fertilization, better chances of survival. It will grow thicker, more better than the others. Okay, so this is a strategy. Okay, so what happened in basal placentation? What happened in basal placentation? This is a longitudinal section that I am drawing you first. This is a longitudinal section. Okay, a longitudinal section. Okay, longitudinal section of an ovary having basal placentation. All right. So this is the ovule here. Okay. So this is the ovule here. This is the ovule here. And let us take a cross section also. In a cross section, how will this look like? In a cross section, it will appear very simple, like this. Okay, so this is called basal placentation. This is a longitudinal section of ovary, and this is a transverse section of ovary having basal placentation. Having basal placentation. Okay, so suppose, how many students in your class are a single child or the single or having only no brothers or sisters? So if you have anybody like that in your family, in your friend circle, just raise your hands. Maybe I can see some of you. Okay. Is anybody a single child of their parents? Technical problem. Okay, yeah, I cannot see every center. Okay, so maybe a few have, yeah, I can see some have raising their hands. Okay, so you understand that the resources of your parents, the full attention, okay, is being given to you only. And if there are two brothers or maybe one brother, one sister or two sisters, you're always fighting among yourselves, right? So that because this happens commonly, okay, because like that happened with me when I was young. I had a younger brother, so I used to fight with him. I was maybe jealous. I do not remember very well. Maybe I was jealous that my mother gives so much attention to him. So I used to take his things away, throw his toys away and things like that. And he used to always complain on me. I have a younger brother. So these things happen between siblings, right? So they are always fighting for resources from the parents. But if you are the single child, you know that if you ask for a laptop, if you ask for something, some toys or mobiles or maybe an iPhone, if your parents can afford it, maybe they will give it to you. If not now, they will definitely give it to you sometime later. Okay. Or if you ask for an ice cream, you do not. If you are 2-3 brothers and sisters, your parents will think, if I give it to one, then I will have to give it to the other two also. Otherwise, they will fight among themselves. Okay. So the resources are going to be divided. But in case of basal placentation here, this parent, this family has decided to have a single child. So they are going to give their all resources towards the development of a single ovule. Right? So I hope this becomes clear now. This is about basal placentation. So write this definition by yourself. Okay, Government Visa School, I understand your problem. Please communicate by chat, okay? So I'll be able to understand what you're trying to say. or maybe you can WhatsApp me if you have not understood something. All right. There is another type of placentation called superficial placentation. Superficial placentation. Okay. So suppose that inside this leaf many ovules are growing, and instead of less number of ovules, large number of ovules start to develop. Suppose this is a leaf, and this was an intelligent leaf. Now this leaf is not so intelligent. It has decided to produce multiple ovules per leaf, or carpel. So what will happen? There will be a row of small seeds, There will be another row of small seeds, and they will mix with each other. Okay, they will start to mix with each other. So what will happen in this case? In case of superficial placentation, what will happen is, I can give you an example. In case of Punica granatum, that is pomegranate. It's not a very good example, but you will understand this. If you open up Punica granatum pomegranate, you can see there are chambers. Okay, you can see there are chambers covered by membrane, and each membrane covered chamber, it has many seeds, right? So these many seeds are developing on, let us say, the membrane of the leaf. Okay, so multiple ovules, large number of ovules per fruit. Okay, this is called superficial placentation. Okay, so you can draw the diagram, but try to complete it. All right. What happens here is, there is a central axis. Some people also want to consider oranges in this category. Maybe I'll explain to you later how this happens. This happens like this. Many seeds are going to develop here in the margins, like this. Okay. All right. So this happens like this. So there are many seeds developing like this. Complete this diagram from NCERT. It is going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Multiple chambers. Okay. So this is called superficial placentation. Government Meso School, you have asked me something. What is the difference between the identical and unidentical twins? Just wait a second, let me complete this chapter. Just wait 1 second, okay? I want to complete this chapter called morphology. Now in morphology, what remains is, placentation is a very important topic, okay? Placentation is very much important for you. So complete placentation definition and everything from the book, okay? A few small things remain in this chapter, and one major thing also. I'll give this to you as a homework, because you can complete this on your own also. There are some families in your course. And I wish to do something about that. All right. So let me give you a homework. Your homework is, describe the floral characters, floral formula, and floral diagram. And floral diagram of the families that I am going to give you, of Three families in your course: Solanaceae, potato family, okay, potato family, pea family or Fabaceae, Leguminosae also, another name. Fabaceae, the pea family. All right. Third is the Liliaceae, the lily family. Okay. So what do you need to do about this? Write the floral characters. I will explain to you what floral characters means. Floral characters means you have to describe calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Yes, a flower has four parts. It has calyx, it has corolla, it has androecium, it has gynoecium. So you need to write about all these things. Okay, floral characters, the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. You will find this in your NCERT. Unfortunately, I cannot cover this because this will become very detailed, and I will explain whatever doubts comes. Okay. Floral formula, you will need to actually remember it. In the next class, I will show you something. Maybe you can remember it by that trick. Floral diagram. Floral diagram, you will find it on the page where the family characters are written. It is a small diagram containing patterns of circles which shows calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium arrangement. Okay. So floral formula, it goes like calyx 5, corolla 5, fused, gynoecium bicarpillary fused, androecium infinite or something like that. Alright. So this is called the floral formula. Zygomorphic or actinomorphic. This is an example, okay? This is an example. Floral diagram is a complete diagram. You will have to draw this. So these are the floral things that you will need to study, okay? Alright. So actually we have finished this chapter now. Morphology is basically over. Some additional material that you will be needing for your exams, I will supply them to you. Okay, maybe I will give you some PowerPoint presentations or videos. I'll share them with you, and it will become easier for you to understand all this. All right. Okay. So yeah, now coming back to your question, government meso school. What is the difference between identical and unidentical twins? Okay, so identical and unidentical twins. Maybe I can show you a video, or maybe not. I'll have to plug my pen drive. Wait a second. I'll just explain it to you. Try to understand this. In the case of humans, what happens is after fertilization, there is a sperm, there is an egg. The sperm size is very less. St. Paul's tried to send us notes or presentation. I cannot send you the notes as such what I am writing here. Why I cannot send you those notes? Because this is a file that is that I am not sure it will be supported. I can give you, if I show you any PowerPoint presentation, I can give that to you. And the questions, I hope you can write them. Okay. I can maybe post them in the group. Okay. St. Paul's, which group are you in? I'm not sure you are in the Naharlagun group or the, if I'm not added in your group, please ask your school coordinator to add me. Okay. You have my WhatsApp number. So I can pose the questions there also, but it will be good if you try to note the questions here. Okay. I do not have any problem in sending the notes, but how will I send this? Because this is a different software. You will need this software, and then I will have to ask the manager that how can I send these notes to you? You will have to attend these classes. I'm so sorry. Okay. You can always ask me to repeat a few things. Okay. I'll be happy to do that. Okay. Presentations, videos, I can always send them. Okay. Some detailed ones. Let me see. Basically, if I send some detailed ones, look, I do not actually write the notes. Okay. I don't even read the book always. I just come to the class. I just see what topic is to be taught, and then I start teaching. I can recommend a few books to you if you want. Okay. Answers. Yeah, answers I will discuss. Okay. Answers I will discuss. Whatever I am giving you the question, I will discuss that with you. Okay. I will discuss that with you. Don't worry about that. Okay. I do not have my personal notes. I will be very honest. I do not have a notes copy. Okay. I do not have a notes copy. I only have to search for the questions or something, and then I keep on teaching. Okay. I do not have the personal notes or something, but I can always recommend some books to you. If you are willing to ask me about the books, I will just drop me a message. I will tell you which book is suitable for you. Every student has a different requirement, I believe. Some are very bright students. They will like to read a book which is very good for them, very detailed. So there are some students who want a book which is written in a easier language. They want to understand first, and then they can do better. They can move on to next book. So every student, I believe, has a different requirement. So I will recommend a book according to your preferences. Okay. So you drop me a message. You are waiting for the answer to the question we asked. Okay. Yeah. You all right? Yeah, Meso School. I'll explain this answer to you first. Just a second. All right. There is a sperm, there is an ovum. These fuse together, they form a zygote. They form a zygote. Zygote is the first cell, the first diploid cell from which our bodies are formed. So what happens is, this zygote, this will undergo mitosis division. It will undergo divisions, and that is what our body is made up of. We are multicellular organisms, and our body is made up of many cells. These cells are formed from that zygote. Now this zygote undergoes first division 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell or 32 cell. Now at this stage, it attaches to the uterus of the mother. Yes, it attached to the, when we were not even what we are today, not even a fetus. Before that, we were a zygote. Zygote forms embryo. Embryo is attaching to the womb, the uterus of the different placentations. Wait a second, let me complete one thing. Uterus of the mother. Suppose the mother has released 2 eggs. Normally, 1 egg is released in every menstrual cycle. But what happens is, sometimes 2 eggs are released, sometimes only 1 egg is released. It can also happen sometimes 3, 4 or 5 eggs are released at the same time. If 5 eggs are released or 2 eggs are released, these will be fertilized by 2 sperms at least. Only a few sperms reach them. But if 2 eggs are there, each will be fertilized, and both of them will stick to their mother, and they will undergo 9-month period, and they will come out as 2 twins. Now these twins have formed from different eggs, different sperms. Are you getting me? Different egg, different sperm. Both of them are going to be different. These are called unidentical twins. Now suppose there is a different case. One zygote is formed, it is going cell division. Now after cell division, suppose two cells are formed, this cell and this cell, they both separate from each other, and this one cell, this second cell, they now divide. Each is going to form 32 cell or 16 cell stage. Then they are going to stick to the uterus of the mother. Both of them developed from same zygote. They got separated from each other. So they will be both brothers or both sister. But it cannot be that both identical twins can never be one brother, one sister. That is going to be a problem. That is not happening. So identical twins, they have developed from the same zygote. So they will look exactly like each other. Okay. Is this the question to your problem? St. Paul's. Yeah. I hope that government meso school, your doubt is resolved now. Okay. Identical twins, same zygote. Unidentical twins, different zygote from different egg and different sperm. So anything which is going to develop from the same kind of cell, it is going to be same in all respect. St. Paul's, you are asking me that the different placentation differences between them. Okay. So please, St. Paul's, any student of St. Paul, please send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll forward this to you, the diagram containing different placentation, and maybe I can give you the PowerPoint presentation or something which will help you in getting the definitions. These definitions are also in the NCERT, but I will give you a separate PDF document or something. You can learn from that. So one of you drop me a message on WhatsApp and I'll give it to you. Okay? All right. So this is about morphology. Now students, morphology, root, stem, leaf, flower, everything is nearly finished. Some small things are remaining. Please cover this by yourself or ask my help if you need it. Okay, I'll pay the attention you require to complete this. Now let us please move on to the anatomy. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the next chapter, which is the anatomy of flowering plants. The previous chapter was morphology of flowering plants. Next chapter is now anatomy of flowering plants. So please write the heading now, the anatomy of flowering plants. Okay, so the heading will be anatomy of flowering plants. Anatomy of flowering plants. Government meso school, you have another doubt, I believe. You are asking me, sir, can the zygote be broken down into more than two parts? Yeah, of course. Suppose it is at a 4-cell stage. So in the 4-cell stage, they can be quadruplets. Okay, they can be triplet. They can be twins, they can be triplet, they can be quadruplets, they can be pentaplets. So they can be 3 different identical twins, they can be 4 different identical twins. It can also happen, okay? So it is also possible. Alright. So anatomy of flowering plants, okay? So we have processed a lot of information today. I hope it was not boring for you. I always try to teach some concepts, okay? So I hope the concepts of placentation, etc. clear to you now, okay? So let's move on. Anatomy of flowering plants, okay? So in morphology, what we were studying, that how something is appearing from the outside. And when we talk about anatomy, we talk about what is inside of that particular structure, okay? So suppose you have a good friend, okay, and somebody meets your friend for the first time, and they say that your friend is a very nice person, all right? So they say that your friend is a very nice person, and you know that your friend is not a very nice person. You know your friend's true anatomy, okay? So maybe you, out of the fun of it, you start to dissect your friend in front of other person, all right? You will say that, all right, let us talk about this and this. No, he is not a very nice person. He or she is not a very nice person. You do not know how angry she gets, or how angry he gets, or something and something. Okay, so you know all this because you know them from inside out. Okay, but the other person, the other people, when they meet someone for the first time, they will only analyze like on the basis of external appearance. Okay. So anatomy means the internal structure of anything. The internal structure. So how will you analyze the internal structure? We will need some special technique, something which can analyze the internal structure. So for analyzing the internal structure, we have microscopes, okay? And by the help of microscopes, we cut some sections of the plant, okay? One is called the longitudinal section. The longitudinal section. Other is called the transverse section, okay? Other is called the transverse section. So by combining these two types of section, the longitudinal section, the longer section, and the shorter or the transverse section, we get a sort of 3D picture in our mind about what the plant organ is actually like. Okay, are you getting me? By combining these two parts of information, by combining the information from the transverse section and the longitudinal section, we can get a mental picture. Okay, why? Can you understand my point? Why do we need both sections? Why cannot one section be sufficient? Why cannot we use just the transverse section? Why can we not see the? All right, Lunglai, you did not understand my question. I'm asking you, why are both types of sections necessary? You hide it. You have written it 4 times. What am I hiding? Is there somebody behind me or something? No, this is not a horror story. I'm not sure, Lunglai, why you're saying this. Anyway, let me see this. We need a transverse and a longitudinal section because in the books, when you see these diagrams, you are only getting a 2-dimensional diagram. Okay, but what we actually need, the information that we actually need, it is the complete mental picture. Okay, so to form a mental picture, we must understand what is in the top, bottom, and how these are arranged with respect to each other. Yeah, very good, government visa school. One section does not provide complete information. Okay, so you suppose a new student comes to your class. Okay, he joins class 11th, and he wants to know how your school principal is actually like. Okay, he wants to know how about your school principal or your school teacher or class teacher. So one student cannot provide the complete information. He will ask 1, he will ask 2, he will ask 3 sorry, 3 people or 4 people, and after as many people provide the information, his information will finally be complete when it starts repeating itself. Okay, so he will understand that, yeah, so many people are saying so many things, so this information must be true. Okay, and on that he forms a mental picture. So that is why we need both the transverse sections and the vertical sections. Lunglai. Okay. All right. Oh, no need to apologize. Okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. No problem. No, please don't be sorry. I'm fine. Okay. I take things very lightly. Okay. Do not worry. I may appear serious, but I'm not so serious actually. Okay. Do not be scared of me or anything. Please be very frank with me. I'm your friend. Okay. All right. So, one more thing now. Now, as we move forward, try to understand this. In anatomy, what we are going to be studying is the section. Okay, section contains cells. Cells are multiple cells. So, a group of cells performing the same function is called tissue. Okay. So, in anatomy, we want to study the arrangement of different types of tissue. So, whenever a technical terms are going to come, we have to write the definition. First of all, we have to write the definition. So, what is a tissue? A tissue is a group of cells having the same origin and performing the same function more or less. Okay. So, already know the definition, but I am going to bore you and I am going to write it again maybe. Just write it by yourself. Okay. A tissue is a group of cells performing similar function and having the same origin. All right, students? Okay. So, now tell me, what are the different types of tissues in plants? What are the different types of tissues? The different types of tissues are simple tissue, the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Okay. Look, meristematic tissue is a kind of perpetual division tissue. Perpetual division means it is going to divide continuously. Yeah. Yeah, very good, St. Paul's, very fast. It means permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is going to form permanent tissue. Now, there are some terms I am going to tell you about here, and these terms are going to be used, very important terms. All right. What is a tissue? You already know. I am not going to repeat it again. Now, let me divide it into two parts. One is called the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue. Other is called the permanent tissue. Okay. Now, meristematic tissue is also of three types. What are these? Yes, you already know it, right? It is of apical meristem. Okay. It is of intercalary meristem type. And the third type of meristem, it is called the lateral meristem. Okay. Apical, intercalary and the lateral. Yeah, very good. Government is a school. You are on fire today. Very fast. And the permanent tissue, it is of simple permanent or complex permanent. Simple means it is made up of one type only. Complex means made up of many types of cells. Okay. So, I already know this. Now, simple permanent tissue, I will divide it into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, complex tissue into xylem and phloem. This is going to come later. Now, please try to understand this. Yeah, very good. All right. So, let's move further. In the case of tissues, there are some definitions that you are going to be dealing with. All right, yeah. So, there are some definitions that you are going to be dealing with. and I have to take care of these definitions. One thing is called differentiation. I'm going to use these terms again and again. Differentiation. Okay. These are not exactly written like I am teaching you right now. Differentiation. What does differentiation mean? Differentiation means a meristematic tissue या meristematic cell, a meristematic cell or a meristematic tissue, it is converting into a permanent cell or tissue. Okay, a permanent cell or a permanent tissue, it is going to transform itself. This is called the process of differentiation. Okay, by the process of differentiation, a meristematic cell which was undifferentiated. Differentiation, the literal meaning of differentiation means specialization. Okay, suppose you get MBBS, then you get MS, and after that you do MCH. So now you are a super specialist. Now the super specialist cannot be of every type. Either he can be a heart specialist, he can be a nerve specialist or a brain specialist, he can be a kidney specialist. Okay, other things are there also. So this means differentiation means specialization for a particular purpose. So meristematic cell is undifferentiated. Right now, when you not right now exactly, in class 10th you were undifferentiated. From class 1st to class 10th you were undifferentiated. Now you have begun the process. As you took biology or maths, you have started the process of differentiation. You have not exactly become it. Now if you get selected, after you get selected, I hope you all get selected. It is my desire you all become selected. After your selection, you have differentiated. You have become specialized towards a particular field. Okay, your engineer friends, they have become specialized towards a particular field. And this is called differentiation. Okay. Now, can you tell me what will happen in the process of differentiation? What will happen in the process of differentiation? A meristematic cell, it is a fast growing cell. It has very thin cell wall. It has very thin cell wall. Now if it is going to become a permanent cell or a mature cell, the cell wall will grow thicker. Okay, and the inside, you can also know that cell wall is deposited on the inside of the cell. The cell is not going to become larger as such. Okay, differentiation after development of cell vacuole, the cell increases in size. Okay, that is a very different thing. So in meristematic cell, we will say that cell wall becomes thicker. Some cell organelles may start to appear or disappear. For suppose some cell is synthesizing some fatty substance. Suppose it is a mustard plant. So it will undergo differentiation into, let us say, oil producing substances, the oil producing glands. Okay, so it is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth and oil producing cell organelle, which is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So all these things will happen. Okay. Other term is, example, growing parts of the plant. Plant change into roots, parts of change into parts of root, stem, leaf. So sorry. Root, stem, leaf. Okay, this is called differentiation. Next thing is de-differentiation. De-differentiation. Now, what is de-differentiation? De-differentiation means that a cell which was becoming into permanent tissue, it changed again into meristematic tissue. So, what is the definition of de-differentiation? It means a permanent tissue or a permanent cell it changed into meristematic tissue. Okay, where does this happen? Do you know where does permanent tissue changes into meristematic tissue? Do you know the examples? You know it, you're just not able to focus yourself on that. You already know about it. I'm sure you know about it. Permanent tissue or a permanent cell changes into meristematic tissue. Where does this happen? Alright, sorry, just a second. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. So, where does this happen? De-differentiation? No idea? Okay. Look, in plants, in dicot plants, we see that there is formation of secondary growth. In formation of secondary growth, there is a problem that when vascular bundles of plant are observed, these have cambium. Cambium is something which is present in the vascular bundles. Cambium is present between xylem and phloem. Now what happens is, I'll show you. Suppose this is a section of a young stem. Now it has many vascular bundles like this. It has many vascular bundles like this. Alright. It has many vascular bundles like this. Now you can see that these are arranged in a ring-like pattern. And what is this line that I am drawing here? This line represents the cambium. This line represents the cambium. Okay, the blue line, it is representing the cambium. Now this cambium, if it forms a ring, it can easily undergo secondary growth. But does it undergo secondary growth? If this plant were to undergo secondary growth, it will show this zigzag type of wood cross section. Have you seen any such kind of plant or tree? No, because this cambium ring, it has some actually it has some parenchyma cells in between that I am showing with orange color. These parenchyma cells, they will undergo de-differentiation. They were parenchyma cells. Parenchyma is a permanent tissue. It changes again into cambium tissue. Then what will happen? Because of this change, what will happen? This forms a complete secondary growth ring. Okay. Now cambium will synthesize xylem and phloem. This diagram is not perfect. I just hope you are able to understand what I am trying to say. Now this will synthesize wood, xylem and phloem each year. Okay. It will divide continuously and the plant will grow in thickness. It is not like this. Okay, it is like this. It will undergo growth. Xylem and phloem will be formed continuously. How have they formed? Because this red part, it has undergone de-differentiation. De-differentiation. Do not be confused so much. I will cover this in secondary growth. Look, do you understand cambium? Do you understand xylem and phloem? If you understand this, then draw this diagram. There is no need to otherwise draw this diagram. I will come to this part by myself. If you understand it already, then well and good. If you do not know this, then no need to draw this diagram. I will explain to you secondary growth in plants, and after I explain to you secondary growth, I will draw these diagrams. Okay. So I thought that maybe you know it already, so that is why I draw that diagram. So it makes my work more complicated, but I will manage. Lungulae. Do not be confused. Just try to learn this definition. When I will come to this part, okay. When I will come to this part again, I will help you understand what is de-differentiation. I will just repeat this, okay. Then there is something called redifferentiation. Redifferentiation. Redifferentiation means that something was a permanent tissue, then it became a meristematic tissue. Now this meristematic tissue is making again some new permanent tissue. So this is called redifferentiation, okay. This is called redifferentiation. Again permanent tissue. The permanent tissue which is formed later, it is called secondary permanent tissue. Okay. The permanent tissue, it was present first, it was primary. This meristematic tissue, it is formed again, it is called secondary. I'll explain these terms. Permanent tissue, formed by secondary meristematic tissue. Permanent tissue formed by secondary meristematic tissue. Okay. So differentiation, de-differentiation, redifferentiation, just please learn these definitions. I will discuss these terms again and again as I move on in this chapter, okay. Do not get confused. You have to learn these definitions. Actually, these definitions will be used in at the end of meristematic tissue and at the beginning of secondary growth in plants. Secondary growth means increase in thickness. The woody plants, they grow thicker each year, okay. Earlier the plant was thin, then with passage of time, the plant grows thicker, the stem grows wider, okay. The diameter of the plant increases. So this is called secondary growth, okay. So please do not worry so much, all right. I will cover these, okay. I suppose this was too much for today, okay. You must be tired, all right. So I have to discuss this again in a different context. We have started anatomy now. I will try to cover simple tissue, the simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue, along with the internal structure of monocot dicot stem in the next class. I will bring some videos for you, some very nice photos and other things, okay. So thank you dear students for bearing with me, and in the next class we'll take this further. Thank you so much. and have a great day. Great day, not a day exactly. Good night, dear students. Meet you again. Thank you so much.